Just full of sound. Like she got a candy cone or something. I don't know, some kind of candy cane. Like yeah. Mm. Ooh. All right. See, let me see if my eyes are going to look as they should. Like look at the world, or are they done? I think they on the brink of being done. Like I'm not gonna help you see nothing. So we gonna we gonna expect a some type of sight miracle. Because after you look at computer screens all day, you reading fonts that's light, not fully like they printed it on ease. What is the oh my gosh, on print like ink saver, like everything is gray. It's like you could have did that full color black so that I may see. But no, here I am struggling after a day of gray reading. So it is what it is. But of course I'm gonna share something with you just for a few minutes. Now this is what I was thinking earlier today. Of course I had an awesome noon session, and I'm just minding my business, studying as I always do, my own business. And I'm like, I don't have nothing to say. It just dawned on me that I have nothing to say, but here I am talking, right? And that was the whole point. The insight that I got from that was this. It dawned on me that I have nothing to say. Because usually I can feel it creeping up like, okay, I need to iron out a subject matter. I need to give clarity to something that maybe had been boiling or simmering on my stove of life, right? Nothing in a pot. Nowhere in my whole spirit. I'm just as free as I can be. And I'm like, I have nothing to say. But people who always have something to say get something from nothing, right? And that's me. So here I am, remembering before in my life, I can remember a time in my life where I really did not have nothing to say. But this is the thing. I've always had something to say. Every person on this earth always has something to say.
Yeah.
Even though we declare for periods of our time, seasons in our life, I don't have nothing to say. And we actually declare ourselves dumb when we say, I don't have nothing to say. Right? So because I remember what it was like at that time to declare myself not having something to say, but I concluded I had nothing to say by having things in my head that I needed to say. The only way I could say I have nothing to say is to sort out or sort through what I have to say to determine that I have nothing to say. Now, you see how God is a hot mess. Listen, I like him. And the fact of the matter that he intrinsically put these little self-checks within us to where there is no excuse that we have that we just keep coming up with every day. It's like, boy, a new one. I bet he's just up there with Jesus and all his friends saying, I never heard that one before. That's a new one. The humans are coming up with new ways to not be as great as they are being born. They're just really dismantling it as best as they can, and it is almost funny. It's just like I can imagine that's what he's saying. It is almost funny what the people on earth are trying to do. But we have these mechanisms within that is counterintuitive to our own self-demise, our own neglect, our own self-decided nothings. And because I thought I don't have nothing to say, I mean, really, just like there's always something that has to be said. from the beginning of time to the end of time, there is constantly something that needs to be said. So, being that there's always constantly something that needs to be said, we can never say we have nothing to say. And when we say, no, I don't have nothing to say, this is, I know, let me calm myself down because my whole insides is just about to run up off this screen. But I'm going to stay still because I need to get it out the way I see it. Now, what we do, but okay, the establishment or the foundation is, and we're going to get to the lesson. The foundation, because if I don't get it out, then I won't establish what I hear onto the earth in any form. So everybody in the world got to wait. Okay, so because there's something that always needs to be said, we sort through the said that is happening on the earth constantly. The said action, sayings, or the action or of the word said is happening right now. Whether we participate in the sadness or not. Okay? So that's the foundational truth. What we do when we get the opportunity or we are released to have an opportunity to say something, we sort through what we've worked with. We sort through what we've worked with him over an extended period of time. Let me explain. If you there's a difference when you feel that you're consistent with him and then you feel you slack off. It's like, I don't know what happened. What? I thought I was doing the same thing that I did yesterday. And yesterday, me and God, we was hot and popping. I mean, we was just out in the world, in America and all the other countries, just kicking it, doing it, getting insight. You conversing with him, he conversing with you. Then all of a sudden, it stopped somehow. And it's like, I don't know what I did wrong to sever this relationship, or our relationship isn't the same. Now, God never shifts our relationship. Our relationship with him has always been 100% from day one. We vacillate and shift so that in turn looks like God is walking away from us. When he's never walking away from us, we're not following him. All right. So in somewhere in there, while we're following him and we're conversing with him, we get our attention drawn to the right, left, front, back, up, down, some type of way, 45-degree angle, 30-degree angle, 90-degree angle. It don't matter. We get turned in a particular way that benefits us, that we don't feel will affect the relationship that we're having with God. When we veer off and we get our sights off of him, that time frame or that season that we get our sights off of him is time that we have lost of conversations we were supposed to have, that we forfeited in some type of way for some type of reason. Y'all with me so far? I got all this from this one thing. I know. Now, there are people that are in our lives that always has something to say. Always. And we low-key be like, you always got something to say. Every time, you always got something to say. Are you ever wrong? You always got an answer. I used to say that until I became the person with somebody who always had something to say. And so I understood the dynamic, because I understood what it was like to decide I didn't have something to say, and then to become the person who always has something to say. And I have to say, no, Bridget, it's not your place. Do not speak. It is not your, because I always have something to say, right? Now, we're sorting through what the time that we've spent with him in communion, communication, connection, camaraderie, whatever you want to call it. Our relationship with him, when we get off task, we let time pass by. And when that time segment, there's a segment where we are connected, then there's a segment that we're not. Okay? That segment that we're not usually shows up at the time when someone says, Jason, do you have something to say?
Right.
That segment of non-connection is right in front of you. And so you sorting through what is or is not there
Yeah.
And you say, oh no, I don't have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how you don't have nothing to say when last week, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago, you was like on point. And what had happened then?
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time that we got off task. God never gets off task. We need to stop doing that to him. He never gets off task. His on taskness is your date you were born. He's never been off task. We're the ones off task. Whatever that means for you. I'm not going to even explain what that means for you. You should be able to connect to that spiritual connection of what I just said. Now, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
When you Jesus. Oh my gosh, calm it down, Bridget. Calm it down. Because I want you to comprehend what I'm about to say like I comprehended it and almost ran out the room. I didn't run out the room, but I stayed. When you commit continually without those moments of break, they do happen, but you're in control of them happening, right? When you're consistent, let's use it for an example. If you're consistent for a day, don't you know you've added another day on the other side of experience? If you're consistent here, another day, you have the experience of 2 times 2 of that. Why? Hear me now. Because now, I'm going to use the day. If I'm consistent with God from 12 to 12, I have, when the next day comes, 12 hours of experience starting the next day. So I gain that 12 hours. I'm making this up with time so you can understand it. But if I'm consistent again, don't you know when I start again, I have 24 hours to start with. Don't look at it as how, you have to look at it like it flips the power. So if you've been consistent with God for 10 years, eventually you're going to have 20 years worth of experience. When people get to a certain level, you notice their knowledge multiplies. It's God's numbers are not our numbers. This should be blowing your head up. But that means you must be consistent, and you'll never be able to say, oh, I don't have nothing to say, because my consistency multiplies my intelligence. My consistency multiplies the time invested. This is why when you invest not just money, time, talent, and treasure consistently with the right motive, it multiplies itself. It's never actually what it was when it went in. So if you're, hear me now, when you're consistent in your hearing of him, that means your obedience, your love, your compassion, your truth, your belief in what he says about you, you are multiplying your time by the time you get to the next season. You're never in the original number, but you're not the one to choose the weight of it. You don't have no control in the weight of it. God is the one who blesses us, right? So being that he's in control of that, it requires our heart to be pure. It requires our heart to be in the right position. It requires our motives to be good. It requires all these things. When you consistently are walking in that, the interest on your consistency forces it forward double or more.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Now imagine that when someone believes God early.
Yeah.
When someone believes God early in their life, by the time they get to a more older age, they're ahead of the people who are that age.
Yeah.
And so those that are the actual age will begin to put down those that are beyond the years of that age group. So you will see that older ones are jealous of younger men and women of God, or younger people, no matter what they're in, because they're intelligence is beyond their years.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Those individuals who have an old soul, as the old people would say, or an old heart, just an old presence. It's like, how old are you? Because your whole maturity is coming out your skin. Girls, boys, both. It's like you got an old soul. Oh, hey, where you get that from? I don't know. Yeah, they believed in something early and it multiplied. And we see the manifestation of it. So when those people are smart and always have something to say, those of us who've decided, oh, I don't have nothing to say, begin to hang around people who always have something to say to help them not have something to say. We will be attracted to people who always have something to say, because we're going to be the one they're going to say it to, because I don't have nothing to say. And this is the thing. The people who always have something to say really aren't trying to be the only people talking. The only reason why they're the only one that look like they have something to say is because you've decided you don't have nothing to say, and something always got to be said. I said, look at here. Now I hope y'all got that, because my mind was like, what? Because I can clearly remember not too long ago, it wasn't quite yesterday, but not too long ago, how I used to think and how my mind used to work. I'm like, I can clearly remember that. But I know where my brain is at right now. I know where my thinking is right now. I know where my fortitude is right now. And I'm attributing it to consistency in belief in myself and who I am, consistency in belief of what he's sharing with me without comparing it to what he's saying to anyone else, trusting in the fact of the matter that if he's sharing something with me, it is good. I don't need to run it by nobody to validate its potency. I just decide I don't have to run this by nobody. What? I don't have to run this by nobody to be validated. I don't have to run what him, Big G, sharing with me. I know my relationship with him, and I know what he's sharing with me. I'm just declaring what I'm hearing and not giving a behind about anything that you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's why I always have something to say. Yeah. I hope y'all got some out of that. Any questions?
Yeah. I don't have a question about it. I feel like you said, when we decide that we don't have something to say, it proves that we can stick through
Yeah.
what we had to say.
Right.
Intentionally cut it or decided it wasn't worth saying, or what reason stopped it, which that causes, like I said, that inconsistency or those breaks. That's what those type of things, moments creates those more gaps.
Yep.
And then when you choose to, like you said, be consistent in believing in yourself, consistent in I do have something to say. I do have something to say. Always, it's because something always needs to be said, and open yourself in that way. And it's like you're investing into an account that compounds in interest wise.
Yes.
So eventually, like I said, those benefits grow exponentially.
Yes.
Curve as opposed to a straight line.
Correct.
So like you said, as the older could be jealous of the younger because the elder grew in a straight line, or if at all, or they just say
if at all.
Yeah. So either they could have gone down, but either way, it's linear. It just reminds me of math because it's linear. It's a straight line. It's a constant.
Yeah.
Thing. But when you can either constantly add or you can constantly multiply. Those are two different parts. So what you're talking about. Reminds me of multiple, like I said, it's multiplying. We can't decide the type of interest, but the earlier you start,
Yes.
definitely the farther along you are. You know, nobody can catch. I mean, that's a principle as far as even in money or whatever.
Yep.
If you start investing early, you're gonna have way more money by the time you get a certain age than somebody that started, even if they started with more.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
heard like, you know, you start with $1 when you 2 or 5 years old. You keep doing it.
Right.
You don't have so much, but then if you can start with $1 million
And
never
still.
catch the person. Yeah, never can catch the person that started with $1. You know,
We'll never be able to catch up
because they started earlier. Yes. So I definitely got something out of that. So yeah.
Good
Stop.
deal.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna put that together. I just got all kinds of chicken scratch on this piece of paper, just getting it out of my head.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we just gonna put this together somehow. I trust you, my God. I trust you.
That's compound interest right there.
Bro, all day.